Hey all, it's Justin. This week on Deprogrammed, we were talking about the Aquabats, and we got on the conversation of Travis Barker being a former member of the Aquabats, current member of Blink-182. And so, naturally, a conversation occurs where we kind of follow other band members to other bands. And here is part of what transpires.
Yeah, I feel like that happened, and I know he's kind of a scumbag now, but that kind of happened with Queens of the Stone Age and Nick Oliveri, and I really, really liked Nick Oliveri, so I went back and listened to the Dwarves, and I got really into the Dwarves for a while. But as far as forward, I mean, punk bands like interchanged players all the time, and like especially like the Fat Wreck and the Epitaph bands, and I can't specifically think of somebody, but usually when a new band would come out and they'd be like, oh, that's the old drummer from the Bouncing Souls or something like that, okay, I'll give it a listen for sure.
Most of mine are 80s related.
Go for it.
I'd listen to old Genesis, and then of course I listened to Peter Gabriel after he left Genesis, and Phil Collins also as an offshoot of Genesis, things like that. Trying to think of some others, but not really. Sting off with the Police. I don't know. I'm sure there's tons of 80s bands where it's like I'd listen to their solo stuff after they left a band. David Lee Roth after he left fucking Van Halen. Things like that.
How about you guys did this recently? How about Oingo Boingo and then going and listening to all those what's called Danny Elfman soundtracks from what's his face?
Yeah.
God, I can't remember. Tim Burton from all the Tim Burton movies.
Yeah. I wish I'd gotten in on that. Oingo Boingo. I fucking love Oingo Boingo so much. I was too late for Oingo Boingo.
Jenny, I know there's got to be a band. That face.
I don't listen to music.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I don't know why you have me on the show. I don't know anything.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah. That's very interesting too. No, I think the first thing that came to mind, and it's such a gimme answer for me that I was really trying hard to think of something else, but Blur and the Gorillaz.
Sure.
I mean, it was like when I found out, like I kind of missed the first album of Gorillaz because like when you have kids, you just kind of miss out on a lot of pop culture for the first couple of years. And so when I was like, oh wait, this is my dude from Blur. Oh shit, hold up, and I caught up like really quickly. So like I said, it's really a gimme for me. But
I mean, if we're talking about mega bands like that, then I think you have to mention Audioslave and just the combination of the latter half of Rage Against the Machine and then Chris Cornell. I think when that music video debuted, like 6:00 in the morning before I went to school on a Tuesday, whatever it was, I watched the video for Cochise and I was just like, oh, wow. I imagine what they can do with this talent. And Audioslave was great. I think they're underrated in the grand scheme of things.
Tasted a little morsel of After the Fact number 56, which is available on my Patreon, patreon.com/ohhijustin. $1 a month gets you in the club, gets you all sorts of great access and daily content. If you'd like to hear the rest of that conversation, go there. And if you'd like to hear a conversation on the Aquabats, it comes out on Thursdays. Just like every episode of Deprogrammed, available on all podcast platforms.